Kenny, the Premier is urging residents to limit their mobility tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely, Gab. And look, the Premier said she almost fell off her chair when she saw the latest testing numbers in the past 24-hour period up to 8 p.m. Last night, over 60,000 tests. But out of that record day of testing, only 9 cases were picked up from those 60,000 tests. 7 have already been linked to the Avalon cluster. 2 are under investigation. Now, of those 2, one of those people live in the Northern Beaches. The other person is a CBD worker, and that's a bit of a concern. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But the message that they wanted to really push home is tomorrow is obviously Christmas Day. They're urging people to limit mobility as much as possible. Take a listen.
We are far from out of the woods. We're not out of the woods by any stretch. And in fact, we have to be extra vigilant over the next few days. We have to make sure we get tested with the onset of symptoms. We have to make sure that if we're isolated, we stay in isolation. We need to make sure we don't visit people in isolation. And we also need to make sure that as much as possible, we reduce our mobility.
Now, there's been no changes to the restrictions that we heard about yesterday. Over the next few days, they're going to assess things on Boxing Day once again and then make any adjustments depending on the case numbers. But the real concern at the moment is the CBD because a worker actually worked in the Bligh Street, Hunter Street area of the CBD, potentially while infectious. A number of locations you've been urged to monitor for symptoms if you're at Australia Square, the MLC Centre and also the Chiefly Square. There's also been a case that has visited, or a few cases actually, that has been linked to the sports bar at the Paragon Hotel. That's in Circular Quay. That was on Wednesday the 16th during the early afternoon. They gave us an update also on the Bondi icebergs. You're considered a bit of a contact there if you were at Bondi icebergs Sunday morning and Monday morning the 20th and also the 21st on the pool deck area. Now, there are a couple of locations, but the CBD is a bit of concern. Here's a bit more of what they had to say on that.
We are concerned about people who may have been infectious, who went to work in the CBD and then have passed that on to other people in the CBD, and those people have then passed it on back in their communities.
Now, they're urging people to still go and get tested on Christmas Day. They're saying that the wait times have reduced a little bit compared to what we've seen over the past couple of days. And the other information that we got was an update on that flight. You may remember that on the 18th of December, there was a repatriation Qantas flight that came from Paris into Darwin, and then people got on a domestic flight from Darwin to Sydney. Well, those people that were on that flight from Darwin to Sydney are now considered close contacts, and they're trying to track those people down. A bit of an update also, Gab, on the Sydney fireworks. The Premier saying that at the moment they're still going ahead at midnight. She's urging people to watch it from home, but they're going to reassess over the next couple of days, depending on what happens with the case numbers as well.
Kenny, thank you for the update. 60,000 people coming forward to get tested. It's an amazing effort.